Hello, this is Mr. Delabruere, and today I'll be practicing Essential Elements Exercise 168, Meter Mania, on flute, and then I'll follow up by giving you some practice tips. Okay, so some of the things to look for in this exercise. The first, this is called Meter Mania because it keeps changing time signature over and over again. So mania obviously just means it's crazy. Meter is another more general term for time signatures. So the time signature specifically are the numbers that tell you how many beats there are in a measure, while meter is kind of a more general term to refer to beats in measures. So for example, the meter, if we were going to use these two words separately, this piece changes meter frequently. There are many time signatures. So that's one way you could use both words. They're almost the same word, but they're used slightly differently. So this is also an example of something called mixed meter. Mixed meter is exactly what it sounds like. It's simply when you have one piece of music and you have multiple meters or time signatures mixed together, so it changes frequently during the piece. So this is a great example of something called mixed meter. All right. One thing to help with mixed meter, especially because we have both rhythms and changing time signatures with the beat, one thing that's helpful is to simply count it through only the beat first. So usually we skip right to counting the rhythm, but in this case it can be difficult to adjust to the fact that measures are different lengths from each other. So if you are struggling with understanding the beat and the changing time signatures, go ahead and count the beat. There's nothing wrong with that. So start at the beginning and just count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll let you do the rest on your own. Then once you're comfortable with that, and you might only have to do that once, but maybe it's trickier than you think and you might have to do it multiple times. Then once you've done that, you can count the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3. That way you get a chance to find the changing beat numbers and still see how the rhythm fits on top of it. Okay, next thing to look out for is the key signature, which you should always be looking for the key signature anyway. In this piece, it's a key signature you've all played before, but I'm sure that I'm going to hear wrong notes, and I'm sure that it's going to be on beat 4 of measure 1. So take a look at beat 4 of measure 1. Everyone has a flat except for alto sax, who has a natural, an F natural. So take a look at that note. Here's what it should sound like correctly. And I've already heard many times the wrong note. That's wrong. So don't do that. Check the key signature. Repeat after me. Key signatures are not for decoration. Thank you. Okay. Next thing to look for in this exercise. The very last measure, you have an eighth note on beat 1, followed by a dotted quarter note. We're taking the and, so the rhythm is 1 and, okay? 1 and. When you take the and, or the weak part of the rhythm, and you force it to be strong, that is called, starts with an S, syncopation. So the last measure is an example of a syncopated rhythm. So just to play that, sometimes people play it, the last two measures. Sorry for my wrong note. So that would be 1, 3, 1, 2. That's wrong. It is like this. So that's 1, 3, 1, and. Now that we're talking about the last two measures, one more small detail. This is not a huge important thing, but this is an important detail to me in my playing, is exactly how long the last note should be. It is a beat and a half, because it's a dotted half note. I mean a dotted quarter note. But to make sure that it's exactly the right length, you're going to need to time your release. So you time the release by identifying when the rest begins, and then stopping your air or breathing in exactly on the rest. So you really have to, it's almost like you're playing the rest on purpose. So in this case, I would think 1 and rest, or 1 and breathe, or da da. And that way you can make sure that on beat 3, you are silent and you're not making any sound. Sometimes people just hold it way too long. 1 and then they just stop playing at some point. The music should continue for 2 beats after you're done. So make sure that you're focusing on that if you're really trying to get as exact as possible. That's what I would listen for. And then one last thing that I'm going to demonstrate and suggest that you focus on are the eighth notes by themselves on the beat in measures 4 and 5. So measures 4 and 5 are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to play it as if they were quarter notes first. This is wrong for demonstration. This is just quarter note, half note, quarter note, half note. Nice and smooth. But because they're eighth notes, separated by small eighth note rests in between, I'm going to play them short, using a short puff of air, and they should sound separated. And that goes for all wind instruments. You should all be doing all of these things. Okay, so that is my 2 cents plus maybe some more cents on practicing exercise 168 in essential elements. Happy practicing, everyone.